Hi, and welcome back to the World Mind Sports Olympiad 2018 here in London. My name's Steve Rain, and I'm joined by
Paco de la Banda.
I ask you to say your name because I'm not sure I'd pronounce it the same way. We are halfway through the Quoridor Championships here at the World Mind Sports Olympiad. There are 6 rounds. They are just finishing off round 3. So we're just going to catch the end of round 3 before we look at things like the Pentamind standings and the full rules of the game at the moment. We're looking at 2 games at once. Boards 1 and 2, which will usually feature the players who are undefeated, as well as some Pentamind contestants as well. So we're going to go straight to table 1 and 2 at the moment. So we can see here that table 2, I believe it's Ankush Kandalwal at the bottom and Noah Conception Martin at the top. They are just finishing off their game. You can see they've both got about 2 minutes left on their clocks. So it is a timed game. Time will play irrelevance. And effectively you're trying to get your pawn to the other side of the board, but you also have some maze pieces, some corridor pieces that you can put out to stop the other person or slow them down. And on your turn you can play a piece or you can move a piece. And this is good. Most games are much quicker than this. So Ankush is white and Wankush is trying to get to the other side of the board. Oops. And Noah is what's called black. It doesn't look quite black from here, but it's like more of a brown, but it's white and black, I believe. And you're trying to get to the other side.
Oh, goodness. Noah is... Oh, no. I thought that she was going to get a wonderful ball. Yeah. She has to avoid that. I mean, yeah. So they can calculate now very easy how many squares do they have to run before. So Ankush closes the wall, that place. Then Noah for sure will enlarge the in one.
And now it's just a race.
Running.
Yeah, they haven't got any walls left. It's just a race now. They're both counting. You can see Ankush tapping his finger, and Noah's probably counting there, and they might just concede. I think. Yeah, they've got a concession there. We could probably work out who'd won. I think Ankush was nearer. I think
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I think it looked like Ankush had about 10.
Like that,
and Noah had a bit more than that. So I think Ankush wins that very tight match there. Noah's one of your proteges, I believe.
Yes, she's a junior from Canary Islands, from La Palma, and she's absolutely superb in most of the games. And this is one she likes most, and that is why she's on the first tables fighting with a legend like Ankush Kandalwal.
Okay, so we're going to come back. Obviously, that was one of the last matches to finish in round 3, so it won't be long before we're into round 4. We're going to look at 2 things. We're going to look at the Pentamind standings. Now, for those of you who have tuned in for the first time or are not quite sure what's going on, the Pentamind is kind of the overall championship that players are fighting for. Obviously, some people might come and really want to win a medal in Quoridor, and you can win medals in each one. But your best 5 scores will count towards the Pentamind championship, and we can see the Pentamind championship up here. We can see that Ankush Kandalwal, who we've just seen beat Noah there, is leading. He's had a score. Which score has he just had it on? It's the last one at 5th place, isn't it? So he's got another 30 points.
Yeah.
And what you're looking for, last year's score was about, I think it was 476.
Yes.
So what you're looking for in each event, you can get up to about 107, 108 points.
Well, that will be the same than last year with the rules that last year, but this year with this 8% that you explained that they have had for the most important events, you can have 108 points if you are number 1. I mean, you are gold by yourself with no tie.
Paco's right. Generally, if you win an event, you're going to score just under 100 points based on the formula they work on. If you win a Premier event, you're going to score about 108, assuming it's well attended, obviously.
Yeah.
So scores above 90 are great. Obviously, the average you want to be getting is somewhere near 95. And so we can have a look at Ankush, who's got 2 great scores there.
Yeah.
Martin's got 4 great scores. He actually hasn't got a 5th score yet.
Yeah.
So any decent sort of 5th score would give Martin a great standing there. Michael Hornung's got 3 over 90.
Yeah, even 88, if I mean, it will not be bad in the last days, but nowadays I think that if you have not most of your scores higher than 92, 93 or 95 at least, it will be difficult, because we have been checking with the players this morning and they expect that the winner will have close to 490 points in total.
So we're also going to look at Ricardo Gomez, who's snuck in there now. He wasn't on the leaderboard before, and Ricardo is currently doing quite well in Quoridor. We might see him, if he won his last match, we'll definitely see him on table 1 or 2, I'd imagine, over the course of the day. So Ricardo is a Euro gamer, but he's good at other things as well. He played Trench. In fact, he helped Packer commentate on Trench very helpfully, so because I didn't really know what I was doing, so well done. We're just waiting for one more pair to finish. So what we're going to do now is have a look at how to play Quoridor in a bit more detail. Earlier today I made a video. Let's have a look at what the rules of Quoridor are and how you win. Hi, welcome to the World Mind Sports Olympiad. My name's Steve Rain. I'm going to teach you how to play Quoridor. Quoridor is a 2 to 4 player game. We're just going to see it as a 2-player game at this venue here, where you're trying to move your pawns through a maze that will spring up out of nowhere, and it's the first person to try and get to their opponent's back line as a winner. Let's take a look at how it's played. So Quoridor is on this little small board here. Each player has a pawn that will start in the middle of their back line, and each player will have 10 fence pieces. And on your turn, it's really simple what you do. You either move your pawn or you play a fence. If you've run out of fence pieces, all you can do is move your pawn. When you move your pawn, you move it 1 space orthogonally, that's vertically or horizontally, so I can move it there, and I can move it there, and if I wanted to, I can move it back. And what you're trying to do with your pawn is you're trying to land your pawn on any of the back 9 spaces in your opponent's grid. The other thing you may do on your turn, instead of placing a pawn, is you may play a fence. And the rules for placing fences are very easy. They can't intersect the fences, and they have to cover effectively 2 gaps. So I could play this fence here, which covers this gap and this gap. I can't do that. That's kind of like somewhere in between. So I place it there, and then on my next turn I might start to place it here. And what I'm trying to do maybe is fencing my opponent in a bit. So maybe I do something like this, which means my opponent has to go round their fence to get to my back line. What you're not allowed to do is you're not allowed to do it in such a way that your opponent can't get out. So if you ever do that, that is illegal. You're not allowed to place this last fence here. You could place a fence like that, that's absolutely fine. As long as your opponent can still get out and round, that's fine too. So they're the rules of the game. You either place a fence or you move your pawn. There is one additional rule, is where you can jump over the other person. So let's say this is the case, and it is white's turn, this is like a purpley black's turn. On white's turn, they can't get through, they can't land on the space he's on, but if they're adjacent to each other, they may jump over. You've also got a slight rule, so obviously if it was black's turn, black would go the other way, and effectively you get 2 moves in 1. If this is the case, there's no way to land on the other side, so you can also jump over to the right or to the left. So white could jump over to this space, or white could jump over to this space. What you'll find, there'll be towards the end of the game, there'll be very few routes through the maze. People are making it more difficult for their opponent to move in such a way that they have to spend many more moves to do so. But what you also don't want to do is you don't want to run out of fences first. If you run out of fences first, it gives your opponent the strength to kind of block you off, and there's nothing you can do to stop them anymore. You play in this way until someone's got to the other side, and that person is the winner. And that's how we play Quoridor. Very helpful, thanks Steve there. What we're going to do now, we're close to round 4 being started. The last couple of matches are finished there. We've got some standings for you, so we're going to have a look at the table. I imagine no one's sitting down just yet, but they will be doing shortly. But we're going to have a look at the standings after 3 matches, so anyone with 3 points is undefeated, and we're likely to see them at our feature table in shortly. So let's have a look at what we can see now. So we've got 4 players. I imagine we'll see all 4 of these players at the feature tables. We've got Florian Germain, who did well in blockers last night, was it? Yeah, we've got Mark Taste, who's been on the Pentamind leaderboard. We've got Hyunju Son, who is undefeated as well, one of the Koreans. Is Hyunju Son a junior? Do we know?
Yes, sure.
Sure. There are, if don't know if you've seen the room, there are loads of Korean juniors. They had a really great Quoridor. Apologies, they had a really great Mentor Connections result. There was several of them near the top. Abalone as well, and now you can see in this event there's loads of them. It's great to see people from other countries here, and you've got Ankush Kandawal, who we saw just win near the end of that last match there. We're going to see them sitting down now. We would love to see any of you who are watching this live stream. Obviously, it's great to know that you're following the event as a whole, but if you've got any questions for us here in the studio, we would love to hear them. These can be questions about ourselves, about our experiences in the Mind Sports Olympiad, about Paco won in 2010. We'd love some questions about that, or about Quoridor itself. So obviously, we will get to those as quick as we can. Our helpful studio technicians will give us those questions as soon as they arrive. And we'll be more than happy to answer them. If we don't know, we'll try and find out some information for you.
Yeah, for me, there is something really interesting about Quoridor, and it is that most of the games that have very simple rules, but are difficult to play, to play professionally or to play at the best, are the games that I like most. And in fact, I am not good at Quoridor. I like very much Quoridor, but it is a really, really, really difficult game because so easy to play, but so in-depth strategy.
It seems to me, now I haven't played it I can't remember the last time I played it. I played it as a child, I think. it seems to be a bit of a race situation. Effectively, you're 10 squares away from the base. And every time they put a wall down, it extends the run. And at any point, what you're trying to do is you're trying to make your race to the end shorter than theirs at every point.
Yes.
And
your opponent's 1 point longer. So
you want to be putting walls down to slow them down, or to stop them slowing you down, effectively, don't you?
So both strategies, you have to decide if you want to make things easy for you or to make things difficult for your opponent.
One mistake you can make is moving your pawn too much in the start and committing. If you commit to one side of the board, and then your opponent can just fence it off, and then you have to go backwards. So at no point do you really want to have to go backwards. Sometimes you can't help it, but the further you go backwards, obviously the longer your race is, your route is, and obviously you give you advantage to the opponent there.
Compromising with only one strategy, as Steve said sharply, is not good. Being flexible, and we have been talking about flexibility a lot.
We have today,
throughout this event. What do you think about flexibility?
Well, it's another way of phrasing it is keeping your options open. Obviously, you don't want to commit too early, because if you commit too early and your opponent knows you've committed too early, they can counter it. But if your opponent doesn't quite know what you're going to do, especially in these longer games, where you've got a strategy, if you kind of commit to that strategy too early and it can be stopped, then you've put yourself on the back foot a bit. I think we were talking about it in Mensa Connections, where you have your 6 pieces, and what you want is 6 different types of pieces, so that you've got the most choice on your turn. We're going to go back to the table now. I imagine for round 4, they are close to be sitting down. They do get it's another one of these timed games. You can see Ankush there. He's had a bad leg injury, so he's got his leg up on the chair there. He's waiting for his opponent. We're going looking for the top 4. We don't know which way round they're playing. Table.
In this case, I think that he's going to be in table 2. And then.
So who's this sitting down then? Is that Florian? That's
Florian,
isn't it?
yes.
Florian Germain. Ankush is playing Mark Taste, I guess. Oh no, that's not Mark Taste. I think it might be.
Yes, because the other player is Korean. So
that's Mark
for
Taste.
sure is Mark Taste.
So it's nice to put a face to the name. We've seen Mark's name floating about on the leaderboard for the Pentamind all week. So it's nice to see Mark there. And we're going to get hopefully a Korean junior here. There's a lot of Koreans in the field, so it wouldn't surprise me to see the Koreans do very well indeed. Andres Kusk won it last year, but he got beaten by Ricardo Gomez, who in turn got beaten himself. It's not a junior in this game, it's one of the juniors' coaches. So this is one of the ladies who brings a whole swarm of Koreans to London. So it's great to see the adults helping out and even doing well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So in previous years, people doing well. Andres Kusk has won it. David Pearce is a perennial winner of medals. He's come second, third in the last 3 years. Someone has beaten David Pearce. He must have lost his last match to one of these 4. Ankush Khandelwal has only medalled once. 4 years ago, he got a bronze. But it's a big mix of different people, isn't it?
Yeah, I like very much to say that just 2 years ago, one of our pupils, Daniel Guerra, I mean, a strong chess player from La Palma, from Canary Islands, won the gold. But not only the junior gold, he won the overall gold. And it was absolutely impressive result for him.
It was, yeah.
And for us.
And he's not here this year, is he?
No, he's not able to come this year, but he's planning to come next year. So next year he will not be junior any longer because now he's older than 18. But he thinks that he can try to fight for the Pentamind.
Now, if we look at the right-hand side, Ankush and his opponent Mark moved. It went move, and Ankush stopped. Because Black has got a slight edge in this game because Black goes second. But Black, you can jump over your piece.
Yes.
So if you continue to move towards each other, White would be the first person to move next to Black, and then Black gets to move 2 moves in one.
Yeah, to jump over and to have an extra square, an extra.
So we're going to focus. Which game would you like to focus on first?
I don't mind. I think that this view is wonderful to identify the strategies of both.
So Ankush is putting some fences behind him. That does 2 things.
And
One,
being flexible to close on one side or another side, depending on what Mr. Taster is going to do. So first player has to stop for sure. Cannot go forward because of losing this extra point that you were meaning before. But now 2 barriers behind, and now waiting for Mark. What is he doing? Depending on.
So you're always counting how many spaces you've got to the enemy lines, I think. So if Ankush is going to the enemy lines without any jumping, he's got 6 moves away, and Mark's got 7, I believe.
It's interesting that Mark and Hyun Joo Sung are doing a similar strategy, just dividing the field behind in 2. So this is interesting.
So what you'll do, basically, you're trying to commit your opponent to go one way or the other. So if you do commit, you can block them in. So Ankush and Florian, if you look at the piece opposite, the other end of the board from both of them, if Florian goes to the left, Hyun Joo Son can force the only way to get to the back row to be on the right-hand side.
Exactly.
So it puts them under pressure. So if Ankush commits too early and Florian commits too early, they're going to kind of be picked upon. So they have to start playing fences. But if you play all your fences too early, you don't solve. So Ankush has moved forward, allowing Mark to jump. But Ankush could now jump himself if he'd like to.
Both players could jump, but they don't do it.
No, because what happens if you jump, that you will start to put walls so that you'd have to go back anyway. So, if, for example, if it's Ankush's turn to jump and he jumps, what Mark will do, he will put a wall in the middle next to the two.
Yes.
So if Ankush jumped, Mark will play walls to force Ankush to go back round them, I believe. So jumping isn't necessarily a goal. Again, at some point, one of them's going to have to commit to the left or the right. And then the other might use a lot of their walls to stop them. So this is Florian and Hyun Joo Son. Now, Florian has been thinking for a long time here. Comparatively, we started with 12 minutes. Yeah, we started with 12 minutes, and he's been thinking for 3 more minutes. This turn has been quite a slow one, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So if he moves forward, Hyun Joo Son will just jump over him, and he'll gain a point. And if he commits to the left or the right, Hyun Joo Son will make it more difficult to do it, like we were talking about earlier, kind of fencing off one side, the left or the right. What you can't do is fence off your opponent entirely. There's always got to be a route to the back line. I was talking to David Pearce as well. He said that these games generally evolve into either both players sharing the same communal path, or the game kind of forming into 2 different paths and see who's fastest. So
There is something interesting for me with the wall put by Mark in the middle of the board, just vertical one, and the one from the Korean player, because the difference between both of them, well, now she has put two barriers just dividing completely the field on the backside. But I was meaning that before there was a potential corridor right behind the wall on the white Hyun Ju-sung, and instead of Mark had all the space closed. I mean, it was one line of squares in the middle of the barrier, and I think that this could be used in the future somehow. So I thought that it was interesting to see the difference between one board and the other.
So Ankush is committed. He's committed to going left. Now I wonder if his next move might be to wall off the bit at the top right.
Yeah.
Because if he does that, then Mark can't force him back that way. So because you have to be able to get to the back lines. If Ankush walls off the right-hand side, then he has to be able to get through on the left, and it becomes hard for Mark to block him.
Mm-hmm. It is amazing. Only moves and barriers, and the alternatives in the game are infinite. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
When players get more evenly matched, do you think the time constraints will come into play? Now, it looks like Florian he's taken 4 minutes longer now.
I think that the strategy in this game is much more important than time. I don't think that because of being under pressure they're going to make big mistakes. I mean, and counting is something so fast also that I think that it is more important to respond, because here you have so now.
So that is Ankush. Ankush is forcing Mark to the north now, or to the right side of the board.
To the right side of the board. Well, to his left. In this case, to the
Mark's
right.
left, but to the right as we're looking at it.
Yeah, to the right. So, if I would be...
Well, the other thing Ankush can do now is Ankush can play a wall to the right of where he currently is, and that would not allow Mark to push him backwards.
I think that Mark can put a wall right behind, and then the only way to reach his goal is going to the right. There is no way he can go backwards, because the problem now is if Ankush can close this, then the way to reach the final, I think it's the 9th, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 9 by 9.
Yeah,
9 by 9.
So the 9th line. Well, that's a waiting move.
Yeah, I think so. I think Mark is waiting for Ankush to do something. You can't place the wall at the edge of the board. You'll notice that Mark couldn't play it any further back than that, so he can't actually block any of the last squares off completely.
Yeah, but that play by Mark is interesting in the sense of, just in case Ankush is committed too much to the left side of the board, then he can close the board, and then Ankush will have to go around and to come up through the right side of the board, not the left side one.
They're thinking about so many different possibilities.
Yeah, this is so difficult for me.
It looks like a really easy game. It looks so easy, but obviously you can't commit. You can't put yourself in a position where your opponent can do you in. So again, I was speaking to David Pearson, he says, when you add a wall, a single wall, the most it can make your opponent move extra is 4 spaces.
Yeah.
So if your opponent is in front of a wall and you extend the wall to the right or the left to get to the point they were trying to get to normally, would take 4 more spaces. So every wall you add is adding 4 moves to your opponent's game, effectively, in theory, if you do it right. But that's not always going to be the case, because sometimes the walls that you add to your opponent will also end up, they will force them to add to you as well.
The same situation that you said before about Florian and the Korean player is happening now with Ankus and Mark. So 2 minutes difference, 3 minutes difference. Now Ankus is behind 3 minutes.
So Florian has blocked himself in. He's committed to going to the left now. So I wonder if his opponent will block off the left side of the board, which means they will start to share a path, I imagine. I imagine games like this are never unique. Apologies, always unique.
Yeah. Yeah, it is quite difficult to.
So the Korean,
create,
Korean lady is
want to close
potentially, but the problem is then they have to they might have to share the same path.
No, but if for example the Korean closes on the left and also on the right of the white piece, then the way to reach the end will be easier. I think that the Korean is playing a little bit better, I will say, or it has a strategy.
I think the Koreans in a better position.
Yeah, better position.
They've also used one more fence, so.
Because on top of that, there is always the possibility to make a wall and then closing here on the left of the white, and then there is only one way to reach the end, and it is, I mean, quite straight.
So Mark has closed off the top right of the board, which means Ankush can only get out on the left.
Okay.
And now if Ankush commits one way or the other, Mark can force him poorly. So Ankush doesn't want to commit left or right, because if he goes left, Mark won't do anything. And if he goes left again, Mark will block it with a wall.
Yes, absolutely. So it looks like that Mark.
Okay, so Mark is forcing Ankush to go back 1 space, effectively.
And then a wall?
He could do. He could just jump it.
For sure.
He could just jump it.
No. If he goes right, then Mark will put a wall in the middle, and so coming to the right side for Ankus will mean 2 spaces.
Yeah, I mean, Mark could just jump over him first as well, but then, Ankush will just block it with another wall.
Yeah.
I think
and Mark has only just one way to reach the 9th row. So I think that Mark, at this moment, as far as I understand, Mark is in a better shape. Interesting.
So we've got a commentary on the Facebook page where our streaming's going, and it's in quotes. It's Ankush Khandelwal for sure. In answer to our question, who do you think we win? So who do you think will win this game? Someone there, Kurt Lut, has commented Ankush Khandelwal for sure. Whether it's Ankush's friend or just he thinks Ankush is better positioned, we will have to wait and see.
I think that Mark has now an interesting play, is having a wall in the middle of the 2 pieces. I mean, in the middle of the red and white, just to force Ankush to surround this wall, and then to allow him to go the other way. Because now
so I think after this move, I think Ankush will start moving out himself. I think Mark will have to move along. There's no other way he can go. Ankush cannot block that right-hand side now. So Mark will have to just continue to move along, and Ankush might have to start moving out here. In terms of spaces from the end of the board, Mark is currently 8 away. Ankush is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're both 8 away. So every wall obviously can add potentially more spaces to their move. But the problem is, as Mark starts to go around that corner, Ankush is just going to make him zigzag.
Yeah.
And every wall is going to add a few moves to his thing. I think Mark can do the same with Ankush. I think Mark can do the same. But they've only got 4 walls left each, so they can't do too much.
Yeah, a wall now in front of a white piece is absolutely obliged.
You think he should play a wall that goes half and half?
Absolutely.
So like a T-shape. So basically, Ankush will have one half of a wall to the right hand side of him.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because that would add 1, 2, 3. That would add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would add 5 more moves to get to that space there.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that seems
so
sensible. It is Ankush's turn now, I believe.
I think that this is Mark time. I mean,
you're right, absolutely right. It is Mark's time.
So okay, looks like the good friend from Spain is saying hello to all of us. He's a strong chess player from Palma de Mallorca, called José Luis Segura. It's a pleasure that you are following us, and it's also a pleasure that good, strong chess players from Spain are following this tournament. So thank you, José Luis. Pleasure.
Hi, Jose. We're looking at Florian's game. Florian has 16 seconds left. So it looks like a race. It looks like the Korean lady is winning. It looks like she just has to go down. He's to go all the way around. He's got so little time left. He can't do anything to block that because she's blocked herself in at the back. So that was an excellent, well-played game.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close there, was it?
A strategy was
very good.
Clear cut from the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, from the middle game, but it was so good strategy, and she's really good.
Yeah, so she will play the winner of this match for the gold medal, I imagine.
Yes.
Not potentially, not quite certain. Everyone could lose today. There are 6 rounds. This is round 4.
Yeah.
It could be that the winner of this and the winner of that, one of them will win.
have medal for sure.
They will have a medal for sure, but not necessarily gold. Because they could lose the last match and then lose on the tiebreak.
Point spread, Sonnenburg.
Okay, so the tiebreak is there will be no playoff match today, as after the end of 6 rounds there will be a winner or joint winner, and if it's a joint winner, if they've played each other already, whoever won the match will win. If there's a 3-way joint winner, it's likely to go to a Sonnenburg method, which basically means that they look at the standard of the people who've played so far in the event. And going to rate it on that. So he hasn't made the move you thought he'd make. He's made a strange move, but I think that's to stop Ankush zigzagging him in. Ankush now can't zigzag down the right hand side of the board. And then it's Mark's turn to think again. If we can see the top down view,
you can add one more ball, but then you will lose the. I mean, yes, adding one more wall to help Mark to reach the the 9th.
I think Mark's going to win this.
You
think? Yeah. So basically, there are 2 walls next to each other that are going vertically down.
Yeah.
You're saying extend the left-hand side of those down a bit.
Yeah.
Which means Ankush can now block him.
3. Yes.
So he's done the move Paco said. Now I think it's a race. I don't think there's anything.
It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So Ankush, the only thing Ankush can do is 3 spaces along from where Mark currently is to the right. Ankush can play a wall going halfway down. So that Mark would have to go around.
Yeah.
So Ankush can at best add 2 to Mark's route. So Mark's route is going to be with that 2. Paco is counting it out.
8, 9, 10, okay. Yeah, in 13 he is home for sure.
I think it's 12 actually.
12?
I think it's 12. Yeah.
It's
I think yeah.
One, two.
So I think it's a race. I think so. Mark is out in 12.
I think.
Ankush is out in less at the moment, but Mark's still got 2 walls left.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ankush is going to play it now. I think he doesn't have to play it now. He can play it in his next move.
Yeah. I think that I will wait, but it doesn't matter.
I like to.
Maybe he's going to play on his side to try to reach without zigzag. Okay, here there is one more zigzag.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
Oh, what is this?
I think this is.
He can close. Well, then I think that Ankush has made the perfect move to win.
Yeah, he's forcing.
Maybe he can close behind. Yes, that is true.
That's just break even though. They haven't lost or gained a move, apart from he's missed the chance to make him go around the top.
Yeah.
So now the only way Ankush can extend the route is down near the bottom. He can play a 1 to the right.
At this moment, the way to count for, but then, no barrier. Oh goodness, has only one barrier. Mark.
Yeah, so he's probably going to play it. If Ankush moves 1 north, he's probably going to play it in the way.
That he has to go backwards.
I think. Yeah, and he probably plays it now. He probably plays it so that Ankush has to go back 1. Oh no, so Ankush should probably go left here.
Yeah, and that is then he has to go backwards.
He has to go left.
Yeah, but 1, 2, 3. I think that Ankush has won. Okay.
Yeah, he has to go left. Well done. And then
now
he plays
he
a barrier
to
in front of him. He has to block. And then I think it looks like from Paco's calculations that there we go.
Yeah.
Ankush can push him down a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a race.
Nah,
I think Ankush won. I looked like good for Mark, but we didn't spot that move that Ankush made earlier. So well done to Mark. So Ankush wins by 4 moves.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 players undefeated at the moment. We have Ankush Khandelwal, who is on 4 wins out of 4, and we have the Korean lady. I've forgotten how to say the name. So she's also on 4 out of 4, beating Florent Germain. It was quite a convincing win against Florent, wasn't it? He tell you what, he must have had a tough match because he was thinking he nearly used all his time, and she still had 7 minutes left. So she did very well there. She must be training these Koreans very well. So that will be not for a gold medal necessarily. There could be some other situations where they don't get gold, but for a medal certainly. Now Ankush is, I believe, is he 3rd or 4th in the Pentamind? Winning this would get him 90 odd points, so obviously would improve his score.
Absolutely,
certainly. So as soon as you get the standings, that match took time. There was only about 3 minutes left total on the clock, so standings will be close. As soon as we've got the standings, we will get them to you. But remember, if you have any comments about, did we analyse any of that wrong? Did we kind of show bias to one match over the other? Did we do anything right there? Did we do anything you like? And also, have you got any questions to ask about the World Mind Sports Olympiad as a whole? Remember, each event has medals, but there are also the overall scores for medals as well.
Well, looks like that Jose Luis is saying it's a pleasure for him. And I think that we can also say that having so good viewers on the internet is also a great pleasure for us.
I can read that one. It's a pleasure, is English. Thank you, Jose. Much appreciated. So we've got 2 more matches to come. We're going to go have a short break now. We're going to go to an interview that Paco did yesterday. Was it with Martin? Or is it
with both? I mean, yesterday with Martin, and also I think that Martin is the one that they are going to put.
Yeah,
down.
so we I believe it's Tim. I think Martin's is going to come out later in the day.
Minutes,
so we're going to go to an interview with Tim, with Paco did yesterday, just chatting about someone else who's competing in the Mind Sports Olympiad. This is in a little casual setting in the break room. Again, if you do come to the Mind Sports Olympiad, Paco keeps going on about the break room, where it's got lots of different games that you can come and play for free, and you can speak to some of the experts who can help you out. But anyway, we're just going to go to an interview with Tim, and hopefully by the time it's over, we'll have some standings for you and match number 5.
Hello, we are in the Mind Sports Olympiad, and I am sharing this time with a very important person, Tim Hebs. He has been 79 times medal throughout the history of the Mind Sports Olympiad, and most of them, 36, were golds. So, what is the one that you are most proud of?
In 2004, I was playing Scrabble against two players who are now grandmasters at Scrabble. One of them came ninth in the World Championship, and I managed to get 9 wins out of 9.
Oh, goodness, marvelous. And from all the disciplines, what is the one that you like most?
I tend to prefer a game in which there is no luck, where there's no dice, because for me, then I know that if I lose, it's not because of a bad dice roll, it's because of my stupidity.
Yeah, okay. or the good, well done on the other side, I mean, I guess.
Yes, if they outplay me, that's easier to accept.
Okay, good. How many years have you been playing strategy games in your life?
I've been playing since I was 6 years old, so that would be 32 years, I think.
Okay. And do you remember what was the first strategy game that you played?
It was chess. My dad taught me when I was 6.
So when you were 6. Okay, changing the game. I remember 10 years ago we were in Manchester with a group of friends, and I saw you playing a letters and words game called Snatch. I don't know if you remember that.
Okay. I do remember.
Okay, and it was for me an amazing experience because he was able to build new words coming from existing lettering, just one more letter, and immediately he built up a completely new wall. How can you do that?
Practice.
Just by practicing? But it looks like that you like a lot composing words. I mean, you talked before about the Scrabble and so on.
Yes. Word games is probably the one area where I feel I have an edge over the other players in the Pentamind.
With the word, okay. And what is the ability that you are most proud of? The mind ability.
Adapting to new game situations.
Adapting to new games, okay. And in 2005, you were Pentamind champion. Do you think that it is possible for you to repeat that success?
It is difficult. Probably the best chance I had was in 2009, where I actually got a maximum score. But that wasn't enough because there was a tie break that was used that year that is never used again.
Oh. Okay.
And even that year, I had a 6th event that was 100, and I had a 7th event that was 92. I had an 8th event that was 88.
Okay, so as we are learning nowadays, just reaching 500 will be amazing. But in this case, it was not enough. Okay, Tim, a pleasure to have you here, and do the best this year.
Thank you. I will not be winning this year, but I hope I will improve enough to.
For the future.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome back to the World Mind Sports Olympiads 2018 here in London. We are halfway through the Quoridor tournament. We've played 4 matches out of 6. We have got only 2 people left undefeated. They will be playing each other in one of our feature tables, but we will be getting a second game at the feature table. So what we're going to do now is have a look at the standings. Obviously, those people in the Pentamind generally want at least only 1 loss if they want to do well in this. So we're going to have a look at the standings and see what happens. So we've got Hyunju Som, who we saw beat Florian Germain quite convincingly, and Ankush Khandelwal played a close game with Mark Taste, where at some points we thought Mark was favourite and then we thought Ankush was favourite. So well done to him for coming through there. Any names spring out from the rest?
Yeah,
in terms
Kusk is there, and also David Pierce and Marc Tastae is also doing quite well. So I think that table 2 with any of these 3 players will be very, very interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
so
any player will be interesting.
Andres Kusk is the defending champion in this
Yes.
event. He lost earlier to, I believe, to Ricardo Gomez.
Yeah.
Ricardo did well to beat Andres there. Andres does take his time in this event, so if we do see Andres, we know it's going to be a long match, I believe. David Pearce has won medals in the last 3 years. He's come second, third.
Yeah.
And David Pearce is our overall leading, we keep saying it, he's won more medals than anyone else by quite a long way. 56 more. He's got 157 in total, plus whatever he's won so far this week. So well done to David. So we're definitely going to see Anchorage playing Hyunju Son. They're moving around, I think, now ready for the seats. You can see that Noah there on table. Noah's there on table 2 or 3, I think. Maybe Noah's also got 3 points.
No, and at table 3.
Yeah, so we're going to have a look here. We're going to have Ankush and Hyun at table 1. They might actually swap around because of Ankush's leg. They might sit at table 2 so he can rest his leg.
Yes.
He's injured it by overplaying some sports, I'm afraid. But yeah, so who would you like to see play each other? Who would make a good game in the second table, do you think?
Oh, for me, Andres Kusk with whoever.
Andres Kusk with whoever.
Andres Kusk and David Pierce could be something amazing.
Yeah, I imagine if David came second last year and Andres played first last year, they might have even played each other along the way. So we'll see. So yeah, I think that's the match I'm rooting for. Might not happen, obviously, but there are still 2 more matches to go. So we hopefully see one of Andres and David at the top table. We've already seen Florian and Mark. We do have Hyunmin Kim. Is that one of the Koreans? I imagine. And Nuno Torres is another junior, I believe.
No, Nuno is from Portugal, and he's not junior.
Not a junior, but he's done well in a few events this week so far, hasn't he?
Yeah, not many because he arrived late.
Okay.
I mean, he arrived.
He came second in trench, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah,
he came second to Andres
yeah.
Kusk in trench. Ricardo Gomez is his mentor.
The Portuguese are really strong on trench.
Yeah.
Because the origin of the game was Portuguese, and so it was better promoted and developed in Portugal and also in Brazil.
I can see David Pearce at our featured table. I can see Andres Kusk is in the picture there. He's playing Noah, so Andres Kusk will not be at our featured table. So we've got David Pearce playing someone we can't see yet. So we're going to focus back in on the table. Keep the standings in mind that any good Pentamind score it is Florian Germain. So let's have a look. But David Pearce is a very analytical man, and he gave me a lot of tips for how to do well at Quoridor, which I didn't fully follow. He was very eloquent, but he was a bit over my head, given I haven't played it to this level for quite a while, or ever really. So let's have a look. So we're going to focus in on both games at the same time. You can see it's an almost identical start for both players, with the exception of one wall is slightly to the left. Otherwise, it's identical. But you see, it seems to be the opening move is to move both pawns forward very quickly. But white should never let black get that free jump.
Yeah, I think that both of them did the same. But yes, normally it's a better strategy to put the barrier, the wall, behind you, but not exactly parallel to the opponent. Yes, as it was in the Florian and David Pierce board, but Ankush and the Korean have made the parallel. I mean, they're absolutely equal. So now Ankush, interesting.
So I think this game is a bit it's a bit like a cat and mouse here. No one wants to commit.
Yes,
so he doesn't want to play something that's too attacking or too putting himself in a situation. He definitely doesn't move forward. Yeah. So he's trying to find a move that's just going to keep his options open. Mm-hmm. He's now got 2 gaps on the left-hand side to get through.
I like very much this strategy from Ankush, leaving 2 gaps in front of him, and it's very interesting because it is leaving the future of the game more flexible. So much more difficult to decide with the 2 gaps How are you going to handle? So now maybe the Korean is thinking to close, but
Again, that feels non-committal as well.
No.
That feels like both of them they're just. So what's happening now? I was speaking to David earlier.
Yeah.
He's saying you either have two different routes where you're racing around, or you share a route. So it looks like here they're going to share a route. It looks like at some point they're going to take the same route path to the back as the other one does.
Oh God.
Potentially.
So looks like that David may have an easier approach to the ninth row.
In terms of spaces,
Yeah.
it's 6 versus 6. I think it's tied.
But I am thinking about the possibility of obliging Florian to go around.
Yeah,
And
so this is
yes.
interesting. So Florian could be forced to go around. David
Yes.
can't be.
Yeah,
David cannot go back the other way.
Cannot go.
So David's kind of given himself the opportunity to potentially force Florian to go around. Now he can't do it in. He needs at least 3 bits of wall to do
Yeah,
it.
3 walls. Yes.
So that's not guaranteed yet. But depending where Florian puts his, it might force David all the way back round.
I think that it is risky, the strategy of David, but in the long term I think that he's going to achieve the obligation to Florian to go round and then that is the win.
Yeah, so you can see that Hyunju Son has played a similar start to David on her side of the board, but because Ankush hasn't played the same piece Florian's played, Hyunju Son can't force Ankush to go round. It's almost it's a very similar board position, isn't it? The pawns are in the same place and some of the walls are in the same place too. So I think David looks like I agree with you. I think David's is favoured on the left-hand game, but on game number 2, it's closer. So you'll see the game. This is a weird game because a lot of tactical games like this potentially slow down near the end. This one will speed up.
We have something from Estonian player.
So good luck, David, and Edu Andre. Andres, Edu means good luck in Estonian. So Kertu Lut, again, thank you very much, Kertu. Edu, Kertu, Kertu for commenting.
Good luck, Andres.
Good luck, Andres, and good luck, David. So I think he's backing David and Andres to do well here. We can't see, and we hopefully potentially might see Andres' game if these two finish early. We can focus on those things.
So that was Kertu
Lut. He's already commented, so thank you, Kertu.
Yeah.
We appreciate that you're watching the stream. It's enjoyable to know people who are enjoying what they're watching. So now I think that Hyunju Son can do the same thing that David Pearce is doing and force Ankush to go round. Ankush can't play walls behind him to force Hyun to go round. There's not enough space, I'm afraid. The only thing Ankush can do, which he might have to, is he might close off the wall on the left, the bottom one.
Yeah.
And that would mean he wouldn't be forced to go round, but that means also neither would Hyunju Son. So potentially that might be what he does just to stop her doing the same thing that David Pearce has done on the other table.
Yeah. Yeah, if Ankush closes the left side of the board, then both players will have to go on the right side.
Yeah.
And they are same distance. So the one with more walls maybe maybe can oblige the other one to make some more zigzag. And but I'm not sure that Ankush will compromise closing the left side until everything is so clear that it's the only way.
The problem is, if he doesn't do it now, she's going to
close up
at the top.
Yeah, at the top. Yeah. Same strategy than
I
David.
think so,
we
yeah. And you can see how long Florian. Again, he's letting his time run down. He's spent 6 more minutes than David. So I think that's just slowing David down a bit and it allows Florian to get out without David jumping over him. So that might be a possibility. The problem is, at some point, David potentially will just force him back round all the way round the houses, as they say. Okay, well.
If David is able to close, and he will be able, and the right side of the board, then he's going to win.
Yeah, so he can close it now. So
now he's forced.
Yeah, so he can force the closure. I think
he can force the closure now.
Oh no, he can't. Yeah,
he can.
Yes,
he can.
Can he?
With the barrier.
What if Florian plays one space above that?
Then one here, and then.
Yeah, but then Florian plays another one. Oh, maybe.
Oh, yes,
maybe.
Yes,
But it's not. I don't think it's guaranteed. But Florian has to stop it now, otherwise he gets sent round all the other way.
Yeah. If Florian doesn't stop.
And Florian, if you look at how many walls they've each got left, it looks like Florian's got fewer walls left as well.
Only 4 against 5. Or?
We can't quite see because his head's in the way.
I think that is 4th. That was.
Yeah, it's 4 versus 5.
4 versus 5. So 3, 5, 8, 10. No, it's 5. He has 1 in hand.
There's one. Okay, Florian has 1
on
hand.
The floor.
So it's
on the board.
Sam, you're a perfect winner. Translated from Korean, so well done, Sam. Whoever. Do we think that Sam is the Korean lady?
So
Sam is a Korean lady's name. Hyungmin.
So let's see if initial is an S.
It would be great if the winners kept varying. I mean, Ankush has already won some events this week as well. I think Florian's done well in various events. I think he won the last match.
She's playing amazingly well.
Yeah, I think Florian won the last match of Blockers, did he?
Yeah,
I think so. It's great. So Hyunju-san, if your English name is Sam, you're doing excellently well done. Otherwise, whoever Sam is, well done. Good luck to them. We've got some support online, so that's great to see. So Ankush has just moved 1 to the right. I think. I don't think he knows what to do. He's not. That was clearly not.
So he's not going to compromise yet.
I don't think so. No. So if she commits to splitting off the top, she can potentially do what David's trying to do on the other table and send him around the houses. So problem with this is that Florian's using up a lot of his thinking
too much time. Yeah,
potentially.
He's doing the same than in the former game.
And he ended up losing that, I think, to Hyunju.
Yeah. So I think that there is only one way. Is doing what you have recommended is to put.
So where the T is on the right-hand side, what we're suggesting is that Florian plays a piece to the top left of that T, going vertically.
Yeah.
That will stop David cutting him off from the right-hand side of the board.
At this moment,
Again, and
the Korean has divided the board in two.
Ankush must have known that's coming, but what Ankush can do now is play 1 to the left and stop her sending. So now she can't send him all the way around the board. So those moves cancel each other out.
So now it's a compromise between who is going to reach the 9th row before.
Yeah, it's close. I think the left hand.
I think that the must close. The Korean must close her way to the 9th, putting a barrier in between the 6th and the 7th row. Because if not, Ankush can make her losing space with barriers in that place.
Yeah, I don't think it's clear cut. I'm not. I'm struggling to see what the best move for her is. She's thinking a long time, and actually, she's actually been a very quick player that we've seen. So, so we're going to see David potentially block off Florian. We're going to see if he's going to do the move we thought he was going to do.
Yes.
He has blocked him off. Yeah. So now Florian's just going to start running.
Yeah, it's the game over.
And David is now guaranteed that he can get to the bottom corner. I think.
For sure.
Because Florian can't send him around any further. So I think it's just a race. I think it's a foregone conclusion that David's going to win this.
Yeah.
I don't think Florian can send him anyway.
Yeah, I don't think why they follow.
Some people just like
Florian knows perfectly that he's losing by 8 or 9 or 12.
He's thinking, I don't think he can do anything. I think David's played this very well.
Yeah. David has played
but
very,
if
very
you notice, the games were ever so similar at one point, and David ended up
I do agree.
succeeding where Hyunju is still going. At least the time on the other table is approaching the same amount. She's thinking for a long time here, because I think she was about 4 or 5 minutes up at one point. Yeah, they jumped over him, so he couldn't just block out forever.
No,
you can't do that. I'm afraid you can jump over your opponent to the left or right of them. So well done, David Pearce. David Pearce wins the game 2, which they were actually both on 3-1, so they both lost the game already.
Yeah.
So David Pearce goes on to 4-1. If he can get 5-1, he's probably going to be in with a chance of a medal, I'd imagine. And he's still a chance of the gold medal, obviously. Whichever one of the two on the right wins this match, if they lose their final match, they will only get silver.
Yep. Yeah, that's interesting, that barrier, because now it compromises Ankus. Moving to the right or moving to the left can be close either way. So it's interesting for the Korean to see how is Ankus going to move now. If he's going to close behind or...
Yeah, I think that's a good move, actually.
Yeah. Very flexible.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think... yeah, I'm struggling to see an advantageous move Ankush can make here. So we're looking at
maybe preparing the final. I mean, if he cannot compromise now what side of the board he's going to, maybe he can prepare how to reach the end with the lowest score.
I wonder if he places a wall horizontally underneath the black one from the normal view, so that he's not committing which way around he's going to go in front of the wall that's next to him. So we're looking at Andres Kusk, who is, surprise, still playing, and Noah. Hi, Noah. They're still doing quite well. So that is, again, non-committal.
Not committing,
but it is pushing. So we're having a look at the situation here. If we're just counting squares to the end, white's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. White's got 9 squares to the end, and black's got a lot more, I think.
There is no way that Noah can win.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So it doesn't look like Noah's going to win. If you're just counting squares, and this is one where they're sharing the same route. The problem is whoever moves first gives the other person a chance to jump over, so you gain a square. Yeah. Although I think the difference is 1, 2, 3.
They're trying to avoid that. Yes.
Yeah. So that was a move I thought he would do last time.
Yeah.
So now they're zigzagging him.
That's also a very good move, because then when Ankus is going around, depending on where is he, the Korean can put
I think
one side or the other.
I think Ankush will extend. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, that's very, very important.
So I think the Korean, if the Korean moves 1 forward to the right, I think Ankush will extend the wall underneath her.
Yes, and he wins. Yes,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like that the best move
So the Anchorage has got 1, 2 without any jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think so. Anchorage is 10 moves away.
Yes.
And I don't think
the Korean will be 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. Oof.
Loads more.
Yeah,
so
lots,
I think
lots more.
yeah. So they've done the same thing,
this,
but
this,
Anchorage is going to
this
place it there. And now the race.
Nice game over.
The race is now, I believe, Anchorage wins the race. He's got a minute left. He's thought about this a lot. I think this is a really, really good game.
Yeah, very good.
Until
winning this strong player.
Yeah.
It demonstrates the strength of Anchorage.
Yeah, I think so.
The
problem is the move that beat her was putting the one underneath the black piece, and there was nothing she could do to stop that.
Yeah.
I don't think, because she couldn't play one vertically down because it blocks Anchorage. She couldn't play one up the top because it blocks Anchorage. One of these illegal moves. It's just a race now, I believe. Anchorage wins.
Anchorage has counted very well, and he
wins
knows that he's winning.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. He's winning by about 4 or 5 spaces, I think.
Yeah.
So he's just going to double check his maths. He's going to double check his maths in case
1,
giving
2,
her
3,
a free jump is actually going to be detrimental. I don't
5,
think it is.
6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
9.
So he's
9.
given her a jump, but I don't believe the jump's actually going to matter.
It's not enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got 6 moves left, and she's got more than 6.
Absolutely.
And she's conceded. She knows what's going to happen. There's nothing they can do. I think that was an excellent game of Quoridor.
Yes.
Neither one committing early. Anchorage knew she was trying to send him around one way so he could block it.
Yeah.
That was very good. So we have one more match left. Anchorage is a draw. Effectively a draw will win Anchorage the gold medal. I'm not sure you can draw in that. Can you draw in this, Paco?
I don't.
You can't draw on the board, but I mean, I suppose if you both run out of time on the same turn.
There is no. I mean, the only way I guess that you can draw is making an agreement, and I don't think that this is available for this game. In other games, you can agree a draw and no problem. But in this case, either you reach the other. You reach earlier or you reach later, but
and as usual, Andres' game is the last one to finish.
Yes.
So what we'll see is Anchorage will play one more match. He has a chance to, I believe, if someone beats him in the very last match, they have a chance for the gold medal still, because one of the tiebreaks is head-to-head. If 3 players, basically Anchorage is on 5 points. If he loses the match, he'll be on 5, and the person who beats him will be on 5. It depends how many people are on 5 points, though. If there's more than 2 people on 5 points and they haven't all played each other, it will go to...
Oh, it looks like that Noah has won.
Has Noah won? That would be amazing. Andres Kusk is the defending champion in this. He's a very good player. It didn't look like Noah was winning, did it?
It did look like Noah playing a tile and a barrier, and then Ankus offered the hand, meaning, okay, that was the winning move.
Maybe. We'll see. So
amazing.
Paco thinks Noah's won, and that would be an incredible achievement. Well done.
Yeah, it was not what we saw before. I mean, it was before we were counting, and it looked like that Andres was winning.
We'll see if that actually happens. So basically, the way the tiebreaks work, if there's 2 players who finish on a tie, if they've played each other, whoever won that match will win. If there's 3 players on a tie, if they've all played each other, they will do the head-to-head scores, I believe, but usually that will come up with a 3-way tie as well. And then they do the Sonnenberg-Berger method, which is likely to be. And what that is you count up all the wins that your opponents have got throughout the event, and whoever's got the highest number that way will win. So if I've played lots of people who've won other games, but I managed to beat them or something like that, they'll get lots of points because they've won other games, and that will be my score.
Yes.
And if my opponents have had easier games where they've played people and beat them, and those people have gone on to continue to lose, they will get a lower score. So it seems like a fair thing. It basically means whoever's had the highest standard of opposition throughout the event will win.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that to you. That only matters if Anchorage doesn't win his last match. If Anchorage doesn't win his last match, there will be a big tiebreak situation, which we'll get to you. But generally, the Sonnenberg-Berger method is likely to be the tiebreak used to determine the silver and bronze medals.
Yeah.
For the Pentamind standings, obviously you're looking for a score of over 90 generally. You want to be averaging 95, so everything over 90. And so any score of 5 and 1, I imagine, will give you a score of 90 or more overall.
I think that Ankus will add 50 something more points, so he will reach something like 460, which is not good enough to win for sure, because in the last years 470 something. Last year 476.
476 was last year's, and this year you can actually get a slightly higher score because you can get over 100 in some events.
So I think that it is not going to be sufficient, the 86 points that he got in 2 games, but
You'll need to improve one of them at least, you'd imagine.
At least, I will say at least 2. 2 of them. No result below 890, I think that will be good enough.
Yeah, so Martin Hobenmargi is probably still the favourite to win, because if he gets one more 90-plus score, his other people will need several other scores to go their way to beat him. If you look at some,
and also Mr. Tastet and James Happel, they have more
they've got
100.
they've got 2 great scores, and so on. Andres Kuska's actually slipped off the leaderboard. He's not had and so, since his trench victory, he hasn't really had a great score, so he's dropped off the leaderboard. We've got Ricardo Gucci, is it?
Yeah, Ricardo Gucci.
Ricardo Gucci, I can't quite see his name. He's a senior, fighting with Dario for the senior. I tell you what, those scores are incredibly close, aren't they? 342.68 and 342.62.
And they have a personal battle to become senior Pentamind champion.
I think they've done pretty good. Dario did a bit weaker in the Acquire tournament. Now Acquire is one of his stronger games. He only got 51 points in that. He'd be expecting higher, but Acquire is a tough game, and so on. So these are the Pentamind scores. Now Andres was the last game to finish, so I imagine we've got the results for you. So we're just going to look at those.
Let's see them.
Ankush leading on 5 wins, and it's what he's going to be playing one of the following 5 people. He can't play Hyungju Son because he's already played her. He can't play Mark Taste because he's already played him, but he can play one of the other 3, I imagine. You're absolutely right. Andres Kusk lost to Noah, and Ankush has already played Noah as well, so Ankush has actually played 3 of the 5 people on 4 points.
So he's going to win.
So
sure, even if he loses.
Potentially on the on Sonnenberger method, his tiebreak for that will be so good. So Ankush has probably got the goal, but we will see. It's not guaranteed yet until everyone's finished playing. David Pearce, we just saw beat Florian Germain. Florian's had 2 tough matches, so David Pearce is up there, and the other person is Hyomuk Choi. We haven't met Hyomuk Choi yet, but I believe it's another one of the strong.
He was 3rd in the game that he was 2nd last year.
Okay, brilliant. So that was in. You'll find that out for me.
Mensa Connections.
I don't think it was
Mensa Connections.
Yeah, which
he
one?
He was 2nd. Choi.
You've got the wrong Choi. I think.
Wrong
There's a few
Choi.
Chois. Apologies.
Yes.
So anyway, Mark will be Ankush playing one of those 2, and we will see another match at the table. I imagine we're going to see David Pearce on one of the 2 matches, whatever happens, because obviously David Pearce often competes for nearly everything. He's got a lot of medals, and he is a very good Quoridor player. So it's nice to see some great tactics coming from him. So they're just going to be seating down now. It actually looks like David Pearce is sat down with Andres Kusk on table 3. So good luck to David Pearce.
So David Pearce is playing against a player with 1 point less.
1 point fewer. So David Pearce has been paired down, so that's not going to help his tie breaks. If Ankush wins, there are 4 people on 4. The 2 winners of that match will win medals. So if David Pearce wins his match, this can't be right, can it, as a pairing?
No, it's I don't understand, because there are 6 players with 4 or more points. So they should play each other.
Do you think they got the result wrong between Noah and Andres actually won?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so we're going to have a look at that. Maybe they just...
The way Noah and Andrews acted, handshaking, I think that is the Noah won.
Okay, so we're just going to look at the first table. We're going to get that sorted. If there's an error, we will let you know. So we will get back to you if there is an error in that. We think it looks like they've started playing. It looks like they've started playing, and it's hard to see that they will be playing each other if the scores are as they are. So we're just going to check those for you. So if there's an error there, we'll bring them back up again. But otherwise, we're going to focus on the top 2 games at the top 2 tables.
Okay, we.
Go on after you.
I think that we can go for having some commercials, and then we will clear up everything for you.
Okay, so we're going to chase that up for you, and we will see you back in about 3 minutes' time.
Hi everyone. This time we would like to give you an overview of what peer-to-peer lending at Bondora is all about. Compared to traditional bank credit models, peer-to-peer lending at Bondora makes you the bank, while our platform provides you the borrowers to lend to. So as an investor, you can generate profit from the interest paid by the borrowers, while the borrowers benefit from the quick access to loans they need. The concept of peer-to-peer lending is relatively new in the finance market and has grown rapidly in the last decade. So if you are new to peer-to-peer lending, would like to be an investor, you can visit our website at bondora.com for more information, or check us out on Facebook at Bondora Capital. And that's it for today. Visit our website to start investing and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Hello and welcome to another weekly video from Bondora. A great question being asked by our investors from across the world is that why are we based in Tallinn? Tallinn is referred to as Europe's Silicon Valley and is a hub for innovative companies like Skype, TransferWise, Pipedrive, and of course Bondora, something not so commonly seen in a medieval capital city. Estonia hosts the NATO Cyber Defense Center and is also building a data embassy in Luxembourg, which will have the same rights as regular embassy, but it is able to remotely reboot the country's IT systems in case of a cyber attack. So due to this level of cybersecurity, and since there are children being taught how to code in kindergarten, there is a wealth of tech talent, and this provides a great environment for us to thrive and achieve our goal of becoming Europe's #1 peer-to-peer lending platform. We hope this information helps you understand why we are based in Tallinn, Estonia, and be sure to leave a comment below as to what you want to see in the next week's video and how we can consistently improve your investing experience on Bondora platform. Thanks for watching, and until next week, keep investing, and bye for now.
Hi and welcome back. We had a slight issue before. We thought that David Pearce had been paired down against Andres, which hadn't happened. Andres did lose to Noah, so Noah is on 4 points. The scores are correct. They are just filming for a documentary. So there's another film crew in the building. They're doing a documentary on the Pentamind World Championship, which will come out on TV soon. I think they're focusing on last year's championship, and they're just getting a bit more footage. So looking at David Pearson and Andres Kusk, I imagine they actually played in this event last year, so I think they were just getting them to simulate some gameplay for us there. So apologies for the confusion. We do have the, from memory, the first match at the table one will be Ankush Khandwal versus David Pearce. So that will be a really good match. I think David Pearce is regarded as like a Quoridor expert, so Ankush will have to do well to beat him there. But there will be a second match on the feature table too, which we will find out what that is in a sec. So as soon as we've got people sitting down at the tables, we'll swing back over to you. But if Ankush was playing David Pearce, who would you back to win then?
I don't know.
I'm going to back David.
Because they are the two players demonstrating their skill at the best in Quoridor in the last 3 years. So
I'm going to back Ankush. Apologies. I'm going to back David Pearce. Keep backing Ankush at other things, but I think David Pearce, having chatted to him and just like his thoughts behind the game are really deep, and just his general strategy. And the game I watched on the left when he played Florian, I think he did very well. I think.
Anyway, Ankush is playing so strong because defeating this Korean so clearly, maintaining maximum flexibility, allowing the Korean to do her strategy, and then waiting until he
Yeah, I think it was very good. We could see that the games are very similar, and David Pearce against Florian's game, we could see, oh, watch out, David's going to do this. And then the Koreans' game against Ankush, we like, oh, watch out, she could do this. But Ankush had a counter for it, whereas Florian didn't.
Yeah.
So well done. He kept us up to 0%. It didn't look good for him. I mean, if he made any sort of mistake there, he would have lost that game. And then near the end, he had a couple of good moves to kind of make her route a lot longer than his, and therefore his race was quicker. So anyway, so we're going to have a look at the table. I imagine some of the players will be close to be sitting down at some point. If they're not, there we go. So
I think that they are waiting. I think that they are going to wait about 10 more minutes well, at this moment,
two people down. Yeah, Ankush is coming there on his crutches, so he's going to take a seat in his.
So then the game between Andres and David has finished. It was just only.
Yeah, they were just. I think they're still playing. So David's going to come over when he's finished with Andres. We've got Mark Taste there. We saw him earlier. We saw him play Ankush earlier. Ankush, in fact, has played.
Oh, they're still playing.
Still going, yeah. You can see the other film crew there. They are making a documentary. They picked two players who did very well overall last year and overall in general to have a little video of. So as soon as the game nearest to us starts, we'll give you some pictures of it. But you can see there's a few people still milling about a bit. Noah, I imagine, is playing at that table, so she has to wait for those two to move. So what's going to happen if Ankush wins? Then the winner of the match nearest to us between Mark and Hyunju Hyunju will win a medal, and the winner of the match between Noah and who was Noah playing?
Korean.
No, the Korean ladies there. Noah is playing. The winner of the match between Noah and whoever's Noah's playing will get a medal as well, assuming Ankush wins. Now, if Ankush doesn't win, you're going to get a four-way tie for some medals here, and that's where the maths starts coming out and people do a bit of calculating.
So Noah is playing with another junior, the Korean junior.
Oh, the Korean, yes, apologies, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you are the Korean
not
junior.
Women. And the winner of that game will not be junior gold, but also will have an overall medal. So they're fighting for something.
Two medals,
really
potentially, so that would be great to see. And Noah is one of your proteges. Have you played Noah at Quoridor?
Noah is a good chess player. She has been champion in La Palma. I mean, we are a small island, but and she has been also very good in the Canary Islands chess tournament, etc. She followed our educational project there, and she is very sharp in all kind of games and strategy games and maths, and I mean, it's
always good to be good at maths.
she's good calculating and planning ahead, and also quite relaxed. I mean, apparently she never makes nervous. So
we've got a message. Good luck, Hyunju-son from Sangwon Chong. Well done. Thank you very much. We will hope that your message will inspire her to win her last match. She's doing very well. That was a very close game with Ankush last round.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate the message. Again, if you are watching live and you would like us to answer any of your questions, that would be great. If you can just put them in the commentary box below the screen. We will get to them as soon as we can. If it's a question on the Mind Sports Olympiad as a whole, we will get back to that in one of the streams. If it's a question about Quoridor, the quicker you ask it, the more likely we are to see it. The message continues from Sangwon Chong as well. Good luck, Hyunju Song, and I'm so happy to see you at the final table. So she's doing very well. So I assume she appreciates your support, and let's hope she does well in the last match. I think we're still waiting for David Pearce to take a seat. Ankush is stretching his legs still.
I think that they are still discussing the result of the, game.
So Andres Kuska's not had a good day today, I don't think, in terms of his events.
Not good at all.
Mensa Connections, he won 2 out of 5, and today he's lost already 2 out of 5. He might lose 3 out of 5. He's a very good player, is Andres Kuska. He's just possibly things just aren't going his way, I guess. He's the defending champion in Quoridor,
Yes.
so he hasn't really defended his title this year. And he came third last year in the Pentamind, and he has won 4 times in the past 8 years as well. If you were playing in the Pentamind, would this be an event you'd enter?
Yeah, I would enter, but if I'm not sure. Let's see if this year there is something else apart from Quoridor that I could play.
So
Maybe I will play backgammon. Yes.
So-
Backgammon, I love backgammon, and I think that I will have more possibilities to do something interesting in terms of Pentamind points. Okay.
So we can
2
see
games.
the game on the right. It's the same starting move as we had last game, where they move towards each other until white can't move anymore, and so white puts a wall down. I imagine we'll see Ankush put a wall down as well behind his piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the strategy of not being parallel. Oh goodness.
So Mark Taste is immediately blocked in Hyungju Son. That is not the same strategy that we've seen in the past. And Ankush is mirroring David Pearce's strategy. So I clearly these guys have seen this and done this a few times.
Yes.
Yes, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a tight game on the right. I'm gonna go against the trend of today and back against my good friend Ankush. I'm going to back David Pearce to win. Mainly just because I had a chat with him, and I know he knows this game really, really well. He's actually trained a lot of the juniors here, a lot of the younger players. So David's done the same move we've seen done before. Basically, he's now got the option to play a piece behind the one he's just played, to split his back line into 2 halves. And potentially force Ankush down one way or the other.
Yeah, the same strategy then in the last 2 games.
Yeah. So it seems to be
to split the backside.
Yeah. It's not always the main strategy. Obviously, if it was the clear correct strategy, David would have done it a lot faster than that. So Ankush has the choice to. Well, Ankush could join up with the one just played to go around the right hand side potentially, but I think that's too committal. He didn't do that last time, I don't think. So
it's interesting. It's interesting the strategy with Mark and the Korean, because Mark is making an internal wall for Hyun Joo-sung, and now the way she has to run to reach the bottom line is going to be, I mean, and he can, Mark can put one more barrier to make longer, at least three times longer.
So this is interesting. I think she's actually she might potentially win here.
I think he is going to win.
You think he's going to win because his journey is shorter, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to block off the top right before she can block it off the bottom bit, yeah.
So first to be here, not to be able to go around on the bottom side, and then now Mark is in the door of the left side, so he's for sure going to go that way because he's going to close on the upper right, and then
I actually think,
No, yes. I think that at this moment, Mark should put a barrier, a wall on the, well, maybe here, and then one, and the upper.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's rethinking.
Trying to avoid. Yeah, but. If the Korean player can oblige Mark to go around on the bottom side, it will be longer for him. But anyway, I think that Mark has clear now the way to reach the end, and just one barrier and the upper left will make longer for
her and quicker for him.
and quicker for him, and then it's game over.
So you think Mark's won this, and there's no competition?
For me, Mark is going to win for sure.
So what Paco is saying there's two horizontal barriers to the left, and at the top one of those two, Paco is saying he wants to put exactly there. That's exactly what Paco was saying. Yeah. So now that Hyunju Son has to go all the way round, and Mark doesn't have to go around that top bit, he can just walk up the middle bit. And the problem is that Hyunju Son cannot block Mark from going up there. He will be able to go up there, because if she blocks Mark from going up there, she'll also be blocking herself from getting out. And that's not something you're allowed to do. You're not allowed to leave anyone with the inability to get to their home station. So if we count just the squares now, it's 4, 8, 12, 15 for Hyunju Son, and it's 4, 8, 12 for Mark. So Mark's like 3 up, I think, at the moment.
Yeah. Maybe she can do something on the space.
Potentially she can
in
make
front
it
of Mark, but
so it's not game over yet. But there's a race situation, so she should probably start moving, because at some point she can force Mark to waste a turn to play one on the top right.
He will be obliged to waste one
at some point, but she can't do it. He doesn't need to do it yet, because she can't stop him. So I think she'll do that. He's going to start walking. She's going to start walking, and then at some point he's going to have to waste a turn to play one at the top right. It might be closer than you think, Paco. I think
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15.
Is that for Mark?
And one time waste.
It might be closer than you think, Paco. I think.
Yeah. Maybe the timing of the jumping over the other player.
Yeah, maybe. So basically, once Hyunju Son gets around the U bend at the top left, she can block the path behind her, and if she does that before Mark has played to the top right,
and
she'll do it.
One interesting thing is that if the Korean player tries to avoid that Mark can close in just one barrier, putting putting a barrier on the top right, just in front of avoiding for Mark to close.
Yeah, so basically the top right, Mark
has to use.
Yeah, but that's just 1 turn for 2 turns. At the moment, you have to use 1 turn anyway.
No,
I think she should start. I think she should start moving. I think she should start moving and force him to play up there.
Well, it depends on. I think that he has not to.
So he's done that now. So there's no choice now. I think she's just got to.
He's not obliged to close behind. He has just to move and to move.
Yeah, but she'll have to at some point. She could do that, but she would have to start moving first. She can't place there yet. She'd have to start moving first so that she'd get past that point. I assume she's just going to start moving, and I think she can put a couple of walls down here to slow him down a bit. Potentially make him move an extra couple of spaces, but it's also going to make her move an extra couple of spaces as well, so it's not going to do much. So just on pure, she's got 12, 16, she's got 18 spaces, I think, to get out.
That is the same for both.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see it as.
Well, it's possibly a waste of go, to be honest.
Yeah.
She should wait until Mark commits down that way and then try and block him in.
4, 6, 10, 12, 15 for him.
Yeah, I think she's got 18.
4.
Yeah, so I think that's game 2, Mark.
8, 11. Mark is going to win. Yes.
There is a jumping issue, but I think Mark's 3 spaces ahead. So.
Yeah.
We're going to see the end of this game, and then we'll focus back on the gold medal match.
Yeah. Even if this is worse for her, and the jump is
so wasting that move, putting the fence out was probably a mistake.
Was 2 moves.
Yeah.
So a waste and then
a jump. Yeah. Mark is almost
he's going to win for sure. Yeah. and then.
Okay, so Mark Taste finishes
So
at 5 wins and 1 loss.
So this is 5 away. So she was 3 away.
She was 3 away because she lost 2 moves.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we counted 18-15. If she hadn't have put that there and she'd let Mark commits around that corner, maybe Mark would have to place that there himself because you know what he didn't want is for her to extend his route. So we're having a look at game number 2 now. They are nowhere near as far advanced. We're well done to Mark Taste, who now moves on to a 5-1 record. That will get him a medal, almost certainly. There is a potential for a 4-way tie, but we imagine that Mark has also played Ankush, hasn't he? So his tiebreaks will be quite good. Come on, David! I know you can do it. Hashtag or like exclamation mark or asterisk, sorry. So frustrating to look. So David, you've got a fan. They're cheering you on, but they're getting frustrated at watching you struggle. This is not an easy match for either player. So thank you very much, Kurtulut. Again, you are commentating. I appreciate all the chats you're giving us. Much appreciated. So at the moment, I think it's even at the moment. Neither one can move forward without giving the other a jump. They're in that spot again. And neither of them has blocked off. So David has blocked off the left and right sides of his home board. But he's not committed Ankush to going one way or the other yet. So again, Ankush is probably going to do what he did last time and try and not commit until it's safe to do so.
Yeah, and too much flexibility on both sides to close one side or the other, and so.
So it's hard to predict what people are going to do. I imagine Ankush is going to think about this as well. I imagine what's going to happen. They're both going to think and think and think till they've got a minute left, and then they're going to play it out.
In fact, this view is perfect. I think that from the camera point of view and the viewers, I think that
this is easier to see.
You can see.
I can see the
whole board.
You can see the
number of
the
walls of the tiles, the clock.
Okay, so we're going to keep it at this view for because Paco thinks it's the best. So well done. We are going to have a look at what Ankush can do now. And he's starting. I mean, it's going to get to the point. If they keep delaying, they're both going to run out of walls. So if you just have a look now, what the current score is, Ankush is 9 away, and David Pearce is also 9 away. So they're both 9 away. They're both kind of on the same spot. They both have to go to the side and down to get home.
And at this moment, Ankush has one more wall. I don't know if it is important, but depending, I think that he's going to play it maintaining the flexibility, not compromising, moving to one side or the other side. Even if he will be able to go one step ahead, and it doesn't affect. No, it's right in front. Sorry. My
right.
mistake.
So now he's forcing David to go to the left.
Go to the left. Yeah.
Which I'm not sure that's a great move. But we'll see. Obviously, he's a clearly better player than me. I mean, that's not keeping his options open, is it?
No, it's strange in the... maybe... No, but he has not walls enough to...
Or time, because David doesn't block it. So Paco was thinking that Ankush could send David all the way round
up to the other
towards us, and then all the way back round.
Yeah, but has only 5.
Has only 5 walls left, and David is easily good enough player to play a wall to block that strategy.
Yeah.
So I wonder if David will play... I wonder if David will play a wall cutting off the one here.
And what about the idea of Ankush going ahead and then closing behind? I mean, if David is jumping or moving ahead, he can close behind and then trying to move only to the right and to the and then to the 9th row. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that Ankush is thinking that the only way is going on the left side.
I think Ankush will block the top part. So as we're looking now, the top part of the board, I think Ankush may be blocking that off and try and race on this side.
Trying to race on this side.
Yeah.
Okay, because only one wall here, and it will be Direct. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think that might be what he's aiming to do.
And expecting that this space is.
He can
I mean,
play
the
enough.
space
Yeah, he can
on-
play enough walls there to slow
walls
David
on-
down.
Yeah.
Potentially. Well, obviously we don't know what David's going to do now. David could wreck that plan. David might play one coming out here now.
Yeah.
To the near us again, just playing a wall to extend Ankush's route down there. He's moving, so Ankush kind of has to commit now, otherwise David gets a free jump.
Yeah.
So Ankush, I think Ankush has to
He
jump.
wanted to
I
jump
think-
or not?
I think he has to jump over Dave. No, not necessarily. I think he might have to jump over David, otherwise David gets a free jump back.
I will jump.
You would jump as Ankush.
Yeah, and if you jump and then it's close there. Okay, yeah, maybe.
The problem is if you jump, David will block off the
Yeah,
side you're going to. So placing that there stops David jumping over you. Oh, there's a gap. I didn't see there was a gap there, did you?
No, not at all.
There is a gap there. So basically,
that
there
is
are
why
3 paths through. So Ankush can't jump over David because then David gets a free jump past again.
Yeah.
So he can't do that.
The situation now is exciting because I thought that it was much more simple.
I think
But,
Ankush,
yeah.
I think Ankush will block off the bit at the top. I think he does that, and then he forces David to start moving.
And to do something like
Yeah,
surrounding
maybe block this and go here.
or block here. Yeah, now
Okay,
he
that's,
can block
that's
here.
okay.
Yeah,
That's not so ridiculous. That's actually pretty
no,
good.
That is very good. Very,
Because
very
now
good.
he can block the end of that.
I think that Ankush is close to win at this moment
Yeah.
because closing this little corridor, just 2
Yeah.
spaces,
And
will
David
be good enough
yeah,
to
and,
win.
and David can't actually
Can
stop
do
him closing
anything.
it.
Yeah. So Ankush is going to win 6
We
out of 6.
I mean, we think so.
Goodness.
We think so. So basically, what Paco's saying is there's a corridor kind of facing us as we sit nearest to us, kind of towards the end of the board, and there's nothing David can do to stop Ankush blocking that off. So if Ankush if Ankush blocks that off somehow, then David has to go all the way down and round. Oh yes, he can. No, he has done it.
Oh, he
Yeah.
did. Oh. Then who is closer? I think that Ankush is closer.
Yeah, but Ankush can still. David
Now
can-
has to still be fine.
yeah, but
absolutely.
but then he doesn't jump. I imagine he might take a few.
No.
You don't think he take a jump first?
No. It has to close behind because, well, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then 4, 9, 5, and 4 and 10.
So David's got 10.
Maybe he can play here and then.
The problem, so Paco, the problem with playing, so Paco's suggesting nearest to the front and left of us,
Yes.
playing a one that
Yes.
would go
to
horizontal.
assure that on the left side.
David would just block it.
Yeah.
He blocks the end of it, and then Ankush has to go the other way.
Okay.
So yeah, so David should start moving now, I think.
Anyway, if
The other
they
possibility
moves-
David
yeah,
can do is to go here.
Yeah,
And
he
I
will
think-
have to do it.
Yeah.
It is by force. I mean, it is he's winning 1 space. If he doesn't do that, then
Ankush goes down, yeah.
it's
So,
1, 2, 3,
it looks
4,
like
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah, it looks
10.
like Ankush is going to win. So what's going to happen now is that
10
David.
moves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10 moves.
David-
10, but
yeah.
some barriers.
Yeah. So David will have to probably play a barrier in the bottom left
Yeah.
corner to make Ankush go round it, because this
Yeah.
is the only path Ankush has got out.
Yeah.
The disadvantage to doing that allows Ankush to start jumping first, and they're both going to continue to jump over each other until they get out.
Jumping first. Oh yes.
Can you jump?
yes.
Can you jump? You can jump like that, can't you? You can jump in an L shape.
No, not in this case. I mean, in this case, white cannot jump diagonally because there is no space behind the purple. I mean,
Yeah,
the
but
Ankus,
if there's a wall behind you, you jump to the
no,
left, don't you?
you cannot.
So I imagine
He did
Ankush
it,
is just
he-
Ankush is just that's what we thought. Ankush is just going to start moving now. He's going to move one to his left.
Yeah.
Can he
So
jump? Yeah. And then
now he waits, and then if David. Okay.
Yeah,
Then
so Ankush is
now-
gonna go,
Now blocking and waiting for
David
David
to
to
move. So
move.
Ankush has got
and,
two walls.
Yeah.
so
Ankush is going to win for sure.
Yeah, I think you're
Absolutely.
right. You're absolutely right, Paco. I like commentating with you. It's nice to be corrected a lot. I think you're absolutely right. I think Ankush, David can't block any more of Ankush's route now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Wasting time. Yeah,
wasting time.
that's,
Ankush is going to
yes,
play there, extending
yeah.
David's route.
Yes. One.
And then David has
extending two more, and then
more importantly,
he
David has to move, and then Ankush gets to jump.
So he's going to win by several
So Ankush
squares
has got
difference.
3, 6, 9, 12.
But
12. Ankush has got 12 moves.
Move, jump, then David can jump,
Yeah,
then jump,
but
then
whoever
jump,
jumps first,
and jump.
But whoever's got
So,
first, it might break even.
Yeah, even if it is even, Ankush is going to win.
I mean, it's close actually. So without jumping, Ankush has got 12.
3, 7, 7.
No, 11.
It's 9 to 7 from here. From here.
From here,
both,
okay.
3, 7, and from here.
No, it's
3,
6. It's
7,
6
9.
this way. 3, 6.
Oh, 6, yes. Yeah. No way. Yeah, too far.
Yeah, so Ankush gets this spot first, and from this spot it's nearer. I don't know why they're continuing to play it out.
Yeah, because both of them are very maths oriented.
I suppose
guys.
they know they're on camera as well. So
Okay, just for the pleasure for the viewers.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we can see what we were
Yeah.
talking about, counting the squares.
And
So
they will finish just one before the. I mean, okay.
that is a several
Great,
moves victory.
Ankush.
Uh,
Amazing.
That is fantastic. So
Yes,
well done,
6
everyone.
out of 6.
Again, it was another long game. It's nice to see that every game we watched today kind of almost went to time. It showed that this is a deep strategic game. Very well done. So Ankush is going to win. He's going to win with 6 points out of 6, which will be great for his Pentamind standings. It's not going to propel him to a score that rivaled last year's winning score, but it's going to put him somewhere around the region of 460. Was it 460, 470? No, about 460 was it? Going to put too close to that. We'll find out anyway. We won't be able to see today, but we'll see this evening. Apologies, we won't be able to see now, but we'll see this evening what his Pentamind standings are. But he's won the event. It's his second event win this week, so he's got 2 more gold medals. He is the second medalist of all time behind David Pearce. He hasn't won the most, but he's won the second most gold medals behind David Pearce. David sadly misses out on another medal. He's been very close this week to getting quite a few medals, just seems to lose the last match. But well done. Sorry, David, I did back you. That's probably the curse. I think I must have cursed him a bit. We know Mark Taste has definitely got a medal. He's either going to be second or third. The results are coming in a minute, so we're just going to wait for the last bit of admin to do there. The tie breaks take a bit of time, so basically Mark Taste will tie with someone else, and unless they directly played each other in the event, the winner of Noah's match will also get a medal. So the Noah and the Korean junior.
Yeah, the Korean. It is lots of fun for me to see the fight between the junior Koreans and the junior Spaniards, because they're always trying to take them apart and becoming the junior winners, and it is a lot of fun because the Korean ones are really strong.
So we have some results now, so we're going to go over to, we know who's won the gold medal, we know Mark Tassey's got a medal, we'll have a look. And there we go. Unfortunately for Noah lost their last match. So these are results, and these are accurate results. We know after ties, these are the results in tie order. So we've got Ankush Khandelwal on 6 points. Well done to him. He wins another event and adds to his Pentamind Pentamind score. We've got a tie for second place, Mark Taste and Hyomuk Choi. they will get equal points in the Pentamind, but the tie, based on the Sonnenberg-Berger method, Mark Taste's opponents won 16 matches throughout the course of the day. Hyomuk Choi's won 13. So obviously Mark Taste did play Ankush. That would be 6 with the 16 points, and that's how the tiebreaks work. We've got several people on 4 points. We've got Andres Kusk. Sadly, we're only winning.
Pearce.
Yeah, David Pearce as well. Andres Kusk, David Pearce, Noah, and other people going for the Pentamind. Sadly, probably won't be a good enough score. You probably need at least 5 out of 6 to get a good Pentamind score towards the 90 mark, which is needed. Do you agree with that?
Also, a very good result from Madly Mirme for the women Pentamind.
Brilliant. Yeah, she is she in the standings at the moment now.
Yeah.
It's her and is it Natasha?
And I think that Noah is also fighting for that.
Yeah, because Noah is not only fighting for the woman one, she's fighting for the junior one as well. So they're going in there. These are decent scores, so hopefully they will add to the leaderboard. But for the overall Pentamind leaderboard, you're looking at a score of 90.
Yes.
So only the top 3 in this event will get a decent enough score. So we'll see that happens. So with this evening, we are playing Aware. Aware is a Mancala-based game, so we look forward to seeing you then. Like before, if you've got any comments that you want to add to the comment box below, please do so. We would love to hear from you. If it's whatever, just even cheering on support of the people on screen, that would be great. Someone asked me to say if they were thinking of coming down to the World Mind Sports Olympiad, where can find the schedule? Well, there's a website, the World Mind Sports Olympiad. If you Google that, you'll get the website with the schedule on there. But I'm just going to let you know that tomorrow we have games like Terra Mystica, we have some backgammon games, we have dominoes, we have a game called Entropy. It's the World Championship for Entropy, if you've played that before. We've got various things like Sudoku and various puzzles. We've even got a speed reading competition. And if you've ever played Seven Wonders, Seven Wonders is a great little drafting Euro game. I know at the cafe that I work at it is very popular. And there's one event for that, and that starts at 6:45 in the evening. Otherwise, we will see you later.
Yeah, I want to remember for tomorrow that among all those games that Steve has named, we will be shooting Entropy and Mastermind. And Mastermind is a beautiful game for people liking maths.
Yeah, so they're the two we'll be showing on stream. So Entropy will be a longer stream than normal. We will be looking at the World Championship of Entropy. Entropy is a game we play Order and Chaos. It looks really good. I have played it a couple of times now. I know the rules. I don't know the strategies behind it. That's why I'm not playing. If Paco can, he will play in the event. It's probably the one event he's going to try and play in this week. So either
I'll try.
You will see me and someone else maybe commenting on Paco surging to the win, hopefully, fingers crossed. But anyway, thank you for joining us. We will see you. We will see you tomorrow. Okay. I've been Steve. I've been Paco, and this apologies to this evening with Aware at 8 o'clock.
Hello and welcome to another weekly video from Bondora. A great question being asked by our investors from across the world is that why are we based in Tallinn? Tallinn is referred to as Europe's Silicon Valley and is a hub for innovative companies like Skype, TransferWise, Pipedrive, and of course Bondora, something not so commonly seen in a medieval capital city. Estonia hosts the NATO Cyber Defense Center and is also building a data embassy in Luxembourg, which will have the same rights as regular embassy, but it is able to remotely reboot the country's IT systems in case of a cyber attack. So due to this level of cybersecurity, and since there are children being taught how to code in kindergarten, there is a wealth of tech talent, and this provides a great environment for us to thrive and achieve our goal of becoming Europe's #1 peer-to-peer lending platform. We hope this information helps you understand why we are based in Tallinn, Estonia, and be sure to leave a comment below as to what you want to see in the next week's video and how we can consistently improve your investing experience on Bondora platform. Thanks for watching, and until next week, keep investing. Bye for now.